Button.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, Candace, just want to double check to make sure that our guest has the appropriate sign-in stuff. Have you checked on her? Okay, while Candace, if you could just poke the our guest and make sure that I don't see her here today yet. So let's see if make sure she has the right information. Lorinda, I'm so sorry I called on you at apparently the wrong times yesterday when you were not in a great place to share your story, but we did a little tech check this morning and it appears like you are where you need to be. Can you just take a moment and share what you were going to share yesterday with us while we wait on our guest?
Perfect. So I just wanted to let everyone know that the class that I attended on Friday, the pre-bowl, was awesome. The young lady, Tammy, gave us a lot of great tips on getting the mindset the changing process started. She has several questions, gave us some more of those memory jogger techniques to use that I hadn't even thought about. On the sheet, it tells you, hey, think about the doctor. But when you're in a doctor's office, there are the nurses, there are other patients, there's the technicians. So you can actually branch out from just the doctor to everyone in the office and do your memory joggers there. Hadn't even thought about that. I just specifically thought about the one person that you see on the list. And so that way that person has legs like a little spider. You can reach out to everybody, basically. Um, she gave us other techniques about how to just get out of our own head. She has several questions about mind thinking questions about how our minds work. She gave us ideas on how to move past that. I was just excited because I hadn't ever been in a setting where that took place. People give you, okay, here's the sheets, fill out the memory jogger, but then she actually took it to the next level. Okay, here's the sheet, but there's so many more people you touch just touching that one person that you may have picked off of that sheet. So that was exciting. And then the energy that she has, the energy that she brought to the group,
Mhm.
just was very powerful because then that energy spilled out to everyone that was on the Zoom call. And then
Right.
they started to speak up. So it was just a wonderful experience. I am so excited about tomorrow.
Beautiful. I appreciate you you taking time away from your busy business and family to make that a part of your schedule last week. And thanks for sharing some of the highlights. There's a document that she's referring to called the database memory jogger. I'm going to be posting that here in our chat here as soon as it lets me. And the idea there is it is a basically a couple hundred questions of people like who does your taxes, who cuts your grass, who does your landscaping, right? Who sold you your window coverings, who is your painter, who's your plumber, who's your trainer, all these kind of things to help you remember people that you, number one, are in relationship, but many of these people you've actually financially supported, right? If you have, let's say the person who works at the dry cleaning, shop that you drop your stuff off at, I mean, you could be spending $100 a month there, right? So is it not, is it a crazy thought to say, hey, perhaps this person should know what I do professionally, and perhaps she or he can support me in my business? Because the more sales I have, the more nice clothes I'll have to buy, and the more nice clothes you'll have to take care of for me, right? So if you're supporting a bunch of businesses, you should ask yourself, hey, is there a way that I can deepen my relationship with these people and create more of a win-win strategy involved? So I will post this database jogger here momentarily. It's been in the Google Drive for a while. But one point I'm glad you shared this, Lorinda, is kind of what you called like the spider legs, right? So like, who is your electrician? Well, your electrician probably lives in a neighborhood, or your electrician goes to networking events, or your electrician probably knows a different painter or a different, person. Like if they have to break down the wall to do some electrical work, they probably know a sheetrock guy or a general contractor or something. So like everyone's webs go out in a huge direction. So The question is how deep can you penetrate that by the fact that you're awesome at what you do and you care and you're a person of integrity, et cetera. All right, Candace, what's our story?
She's jumping on in just a minute.
Okay, perfect. Who else, guys, you guys have been crushing it lately. Who else has had some good news they want to share?
Hey, I've got something for you. I met back up with a friend of mine in Baltimore a few weeks ago, and I was up there for a benefit concert for another friend, and we were talking about real estate. He's like, "Hey, I've been thinking about buying a house in Marco Island."
Okay.
And I said, "Well, hey, I could help you find an agent down there," because he'd been looking sort of on his own. And I said, "Well, you really have to have an agent, and I will hook you up." And I called you, Bill, and I said, "How do I find this guy an agent?" You told me exactly what to do. I went and found the Marco Island KW office, and I called the team leader there, and I said, "Got this couple. They want to buy a house. They want one on a canal. Blah blah." And he found the perfect agent for me. He was a guy who's a waterman, knows all the properties on the water, and they are past due diligence now. And so my buddy's going to buy over $1 million house, and I'm going to
Wow.
get a sweet referral out of that deal.
Wow, good for you, sir. All right, let me
Yeah.
touch on a couple of details in what you said, and I'll clue everyone into some of our behind the scenes discussions. This is just my opinion. I know people might not like my opinion. I get it. If you need a referral in a different area, I will tell you exactly what not to do. What you should not do is go on to the Roswell page and say, who knows a great agent in Hilton Head? Do you know why?
Right.
Because they already got a relationship with an agent here, right? So if I go after, let's say Candace says, oh, I got one in Hilton Head here. His name is Steve. And I call Steve and say, hey, Steve, I want to send you a referral. He says, great, thank you so much. Then the next time Steve has something in Atlanta, he's going to send it to Candace because Candace has a longer, more deep relationship. So I'm not saying I'm like, hey, give me something for what I give you, but in some ways I kind of am. I want a win-win situation. That's not a win-win situation for me.
I think it's being intentional.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go to kw.com. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom left. There's a little piece, there's a little thing that says find an office. Okay. I'm going to type in the city to see where the closest KW office is. By the way, if there's not a close KW office, there's no mandate that you send it to a KW agent, right? There's parts of like super North Georgia where there's no KW anywhere around. Century 21 happens to be the big player up there. So I have a woman up there that I've sent business to. Right. So ideally you send it to a KW person because you know they're well trained and they have the right belief system and integrity and that kind of thing. And you share the opportunity, and maybe in small talk, you say, hey, if ever a time that you have an opportunity to share an opportunity with us down in Atlanta, right? You have a client that wants to get a place in Atlanta or make an investment or something, please keep me in mind. I'd love to be a referral partner with you. Oh yeah, great. That's awesome. Right. So build a relationship that way. Just as a reminder, you can do that anywhere, right? So obviously in Hilton Head or something, he's going to send that away because he doesn't have a South Carolina license. But if somebody were to call me today and say, hey, I got an opportunity in Milledgeville, I'd say, okay, well, let me go find an agent that works Milledgeville because I've never been to Milledgeville in my whole life.
Right.
And I'm not
Hey,
about.
Bill, can I share?
Yeah, please.
Just yesterday, my listing that I have, she's thinking about going to Macon. And so I called the KW office. That was, I guess, what is it, like Middle Georgia or something?
Yep.
And I was able to, they transferred me to an agent, and I left a voicemail. And she called me back late last night. So we had good communication. And she's like, yeah, I'll show for like $25. And I told her, I was like, hey, if she's interested, then I'll just refer it out. But for right now, until she knows exactly where she wants to be, I'll just pay you to open the door. And we just built that relationship. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that could certainly be an opportunity. I think I told you guys a long time ago, probably about 10 years ago, I took Bold down near the airport. And I did it for a reason. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to have to drive all the way down to the airport. I said, I'm going down to the airport because I'm going to meet a bunch of South Side agents that don't want to do deals on the North Side. Right.
Right.
And now I got a couple of agents that send me deals on the North Side because they don't want to go on the North Side. Saying Roswell to them is like saying Stockbridge to me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I know Aubrey drove to Chattanooga for Bold and took Bold in Chattanooga one time because he wanted to build the relationships. He didn't complain that it was Chattanooga. He said, hey, what kind of opportunity can I find up here? Make sense? Okay, Michelle, how are you today? All right, if Michelle can turn on her video, oh, there you go, perfect.
I am good. How are you? I just had to get to the button.
Okay,
Good morning.
so while everyone's here, I just want to take a moment again to recognize Candace's efforts. Candace took this completely upon herself to get in relationship with Imoto and with you, Michelle, so that we could create some value for our PC Roswell people, as well as, of course, support your organization, Michelle. And that's kind of what we do. Is our mission is to increase the quality of your life, right? And that includes financially. And if we can partner with companies that are great at what they do and are willing to enter into a win-win situation, then everyone wins. So first off, let's thank Candace for her efforts. Michelle, welcome to our group. This is
Thank you, Candace.
Hey, Michelle.
This is being recorded, so make sure you're on your best behavior. All those that are here today will certainly hear you, as well as everyone that watches this video in the future.
I'm here.
So I wanted to kind of give you a little context to.
You there?
Is she frozen? I wanted to give you. Can you hear me, Michelle?
Oops.
Looks like she's frozen.
I'll text her.
Okay.
Are you guys there?
Yep. Okay.
There you are.
Okay, so I wanted to give you like a little context of a few points I'd love for you to cover today, if you're able, and then I want to kind of give you the floor to introduce yourself and Imoto in general. I'm hoping that you can share with us a little bit about obviously the pricing and the package you do and what type of discount there is for our people. That's first, of course, and then I'd love for you just to talk about photography. Right. I mean, I think our group here would love to hear your opinions on things like light and staging and angles and drones and nighttime photography and all these kind of things. Because as we know, guys, if the pictures are no good, they're not coming to the house. Plain and simple. They're not going to come to the house. So who you choose as your photography partner is critical. So Michelle, I want you to teach us everything you can, and we'll chime in with some questions. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for having me live from the car after doing morning drop off. So thanks for that. Being cooperative and patient, and
it's about a life worth living, right?
Right, I know. And if anything this pandemic has taught us is multitasking, and we can all do it. That's for sure. To me and mentioned that there was a great group of people and agents that were really prepared to ramp up their business and learn as much as they can for the industry. So we're super excited to partner with everybody. And we were able to, do a really great deal for you guys. And what you have now for you is 25 photos for $135, which is a really great deal for photos. If you're not in the productivity coaching, then the rack rate would be $150. So you have $15 savings there. Also, we're offering premium virtual tour for $12 and a virtual twilight for $14 just for your team. And so what we're going to do is have your names matched with our system so that when you log in, it will auto populate to that price. You won't have to remember a code. You won't have to remember have to reach out to me. It'll all be automated on our system. And all of this will go through our website, imoto.com, IMOTO.com. And I welcome everyone to visit that website because we have a lot of samples of all kinds of products that you can add on to your order. And so, Bill, you were mentioning drone. We do fly drones in this area. We have, I believe, about 5 photographers that have drone certification with the FAA. We do have up to 25 photographers that take photos, but of the 20, 5 have drones that they own. And our photographers are hand trained by us. We have a director of photography that trains and makes specifications, and they have to have certain equipment to work with us. They have to do specific shots for us. They have a checklist of the photography that is needed to sell a home. The owner, who, side note, happens to be my brother, was the top performing real estate agent in Louisiana. And he recognized about 10, I guess down there, about 10 years ago, that photography was not he needed help selling his houses. And so he started the photography company to help him sell his homes quicker. And so the photographers are trained from a real estate angle. They're not, we're not the Uber of photography. You can't just say, I've got a camera, I want to be a photographer. So they know to take pictures. Now, when you place orders, you can specify, you can be on site and tell me that the chandelier was in Gone with the Wind and that the pantry was, maxed out by Home Edit. And we will take those photos. Otherwise, we will take standard photography for what you need. The photography is returned the very next morning, which is great. So then you can upload straight to FMLS. It is formatted correctly for FMLS. And then also you'll get another set that is formatted for digital marketing, print, high resolution as well. Bill,
let me stop
I'm
you right there
talking
real
a lot
fast.
and I can't remember what else I needed to get in there.
Let me stop you real fast on that. So I think what you're saying is, like, FMLS, you have like a pixel ratio or a megapixel
Correct.
or a mega byte limit or whatever. So you give the small res files for that, and then the high res files for like
Correct.
flyers and these kind of things, right?
Yeah, and it's literally ready to just load right on.
Okay. Do you guys, I thought I saw, maybe this is an extra add-on, but maybe you could explain it to me. Do you guys also do some website hosting too?
Yeah, so the premium virtual tour that you're being offered to add on to your order, acts like a host center. So it really, and the virtual tour is a link to an actual website.
Okay.
So and what I can do is send to Candace, and if Candace, you want to share with everybody, I can send out a link to a premium and a link to a regular, and they can compare what they want and see that when you click on it, it is a link to a site. And so that also makes it easy to share, because sharing photographs, they're big files, it's hard. So when you can just like copy and paste those virtual tours and send them out on email blasts as well.
Right. I think it's a great place to,
yeah,
it's a great way of sharing the data, or sharing the news of you having this new listing, rather than you have to, God forbid you put like the Zillow link on there and you put it on your Facebook page, and then all of a sudden anyone that sees it contacts whoever paid for exposure on that particular listing, right? It's all internal, and you are
correct.
the key person.
Yes, it keeps you within your own little bubble.
Yes.
And it controls their viewing as well. Another thing is, on premium virtual tours, when you do multiple listings with us, it builds on your multiple listings. So it makes you look really grand.
Cool.
It makes you see all my other listings while they're there as well, and only yours, not others. Another benefit from photographing with us is we have a newsletter that goes out. I think out here it's about 3,000 agents. If you want to push hard on your listing, you can request that you are the listing of the month, and we highlight your photograph and we highlight your listing.
And who does
so
that
that's
go to?
also a good benefit that we will market for you.
Who's the audience
We
for
do
that?
what?
Who is the audience? Who's on that newsletter chain?
Agents in the area, just
Oh, cool. Okay.
just Atlanta. So it's specific just to us. So you can help sell your, help people see your listing
Yeah.
quickly.
So the
mhm.
standard 25 picture package is normally 150. We get it for 135. What's
Yeah.
the add-on for the virtual tour and the website that we're talking about? How much is that?
So the regular virtual tour is, which doesn't have as much data behind it, is complimentary.
Okay.
And then the premium virtual tour is 12, which I believe is normally 15.
Okay.
So we took a few dollars off. And for virtual Twilight, can we talk about that for a minute?
Please. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So virtual Twilight is a really great add-on. It's normally $19, but for y'all it's 14. We take a regular photograph and we turn it virtually into the night, and so it really looks it just makes the house look a little different at night. It highlights the evening feel of the home. I think that's also a nice add-on for like the end of the photos,
Mhm.
for them to see what it looks like. I know I drove by my house to see what it looks like before I bought it, just to see what the feel was. And then we also, in the virtual realm, in the virtual world, we also offer virtual staging, which would be a good add-on for any of the vacant homes.
Well, tell me more
Or a
about
home.
that, or tell us more about that.
So virtual staging is great when we basically take an empty room, make it 3D, we put the furniture in, and then we turn it back into 2D so that it looks really fitting. And I think for like a great room, people have a hard time picturing where am I going to put my furniture.
Yeah.
And this gives them the opportunity to say, I like that layout.
Mhm.
Yes, I want to do it that way. Our virtual staging is also a really great quality. So you can blow it up and blow it up on a cork board and put it in that room on an easel. So when
that's
you
a
have
great
people
idea.
coming through, when you're not there, they go, oh yeah, I remember. I can set it up that way. And then it's like it's just a new way of reinforcing what they
Yeah.
saw online. Obviously they saw something online they liked. Then they get into an empty room and sometimes they forget, oh my gosh, how do I do this now? And then it's just double reinforcement for them. Our quality doesn't make it pixelated. So they don't know if you took that before they moved out or not, that picture,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it looks
I
so
see.
real.
It doesn't,
It
virtual
doesn't.
staging doesn't look like it's fake, basically.
Correct.
And it's not, and
And
just so
you
everyone
have
knows,
the
like, this is
opportunity
not
to
a,
style it modern or contemporary, farmhouse look. We have a library of like 300 or 400 photographs that you can pick from for furniture, and you can say, I want the art from picture number 1, the sofa from picture number 300. You can go on and on.
okay. And does
So
that,
that's
I
really
assume there's a
helpful as
cost for
well.
that too, right?
It's $75 for a virtual staging,
For
but
one room or for the whole deal?
per photo.
Okay.
But remember, I'm saying per photo. So if the dining room and the living room are in one photo, but to you as an agent, it's 2 rooms, to us, it's one photo. So it's just a little bit of a different concept. We'll stage both of those. So if you have multiple, like a sitting area, a bedroom, and a playroom, all in one photo, we will stage all of it for 75, not per room.
Gotcha.
So you just have to kind of like change the mindset on that for a little bit.
Okay, perfect. So tell me a little bit about do you guys, like, I was always a little anal with the way my photography was, and
Yep.
I liked really clean countertops, and I tended to like pictures that were on an angle. Like there was a bunch of things that, like, for example, if I said, hey Candace, just quote, get your home ready for pictures, right, as the seller, and then I show up and it's not the way I
not
want
ready.
it. Do you guys do any adjusting or moving things around, or do you rely on someone else to be there to handle that?
So we have an awesome document. We have a pre-shoot checklist that is already made for you. And it's on our website, as well as I can send out a link. And it is a document that you can share with your homeowner on how they need to get it ready. We try our hardest not to move. We don't move furniture. We're on a time. I mean, we're timed. So they have to
Right.
go to your house and they have to go to the next house. So we do ask that the home is ready. We're not mean. If we
Right,
need to
let
move,
me-
if we need to move something out of the way to make the picture right and then move it back, like a little something on the counter, we'll do that. But our preference is to not be touching their things and to
completely
come in.
understand.
Yeah.
But I should have
Yeah.
set that up differently, because anything that you do beyond taking the picture is bonus. So I didn't mean to imply that a photographer should be responsible for that.
And I
Yeah.
just want to, I
So-
want to add in there that I see so many photographs where the trash can's in the kitchen. Have your sellers put it in the pantry, have them put it out on the back deck for the photographs. Nobody wants to look at a trash can. Same with Johnny lids. Make sure the Johnny lid is down. Sometimes there's a ring. So just
Yeah.
make sure that
One
you
of
have
our lines also turn the fans off.
turn the fans off.
Yep. Turn the fans off and all the lights on.
Um,
So we don't come with a flash, extra lighting. We, you had mentioned that earlier, Bill. We don't come with extra lighting. We come with, we shoot an HDR and we take an overexposed, underexposed, and an actual photo of the same photo. So you'll hear us shoot 3 times of the same shot.
Yep.
Our editing team then combines all 3 to make a crystal clear photo.
Okay, so I
this
happen
is
to know
good.
what you're talking about because my wife is a professional photographer, but can
Oh,
you
good.
explain what HDR is to everyone else, please?
So HDR is like a high definition resolution photograph, which helps with a few things. It helps with the reds, the grays, and the wood grains. So that makes a gray not look the actual gray it is versus a purple gray or a blue gray or something like that. The reds are brighter in the real color. What it also helps with is the windows don't blow out in photographs like this. So you actually can see through the window. So if it could be very, very bright outside and very dark inside, but the way we take a photograph, it balances. So it doesn't blow the room out. It doesn't blow that part of the room out and the window out. And you can actually see the trees outside the home or the front of the house through the windows. This helps with the just clearness and the clarity of the photo. And it also allows us to not have to set up lighting or anything like that.
What are I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, if that's okay.
Okay.
What do you think some of the biggest mistakes that either agents or sellers or photographers perhaps make when photographing a home?
I think the biggest mistake is using your iPhone.
Right.
And also, because I think that the biggest mistake, and then because what happens is it cuts off the room.
Mhm.
So our cameras are a little more of a wider lens. So it actually shows the flow of the room. So like say you have a dining room that has a door on this side that leads to the kitchen, a door on this side. Usually if it's not a wide lens, you don't even recognize that room goes 2 ways, because you've lost that ability to do that without a wide lens. I think also when most of the time when possible, we don't like if there's a sofa here, we're not taking a picture from behind the sofa. We have taught our photographers to go to the other angle, move into the room and maybe take it coming out if there's furniture in the way, because taking a photograph with the back of the furniture, it cuts off the photo and you lose the flow.
Right.
So I think that the using the professional photographer allows them to see the flow of the room, the feng shui of the room,
Right.
like everyone usually is talking about. And then the camera style and the lens allows you to see a better flow.
Oh, I
think
know
you
how
lose those
expensive
things.
lenses can be, let me tell you.
Yeah, and they're expensive.
They're like
One other
mission
bonus
set.
that we do with us is all of our photographers have a 30-foot tripod. And what that is we'll shoot the camera 30 feet up in the air in the front of the house, and it gives a better angle of the house. Looks like you flew a drone without having to fly a drone
Mhm.
for your front shot. which
Gotcha.
which then also opens up the property as well. You see a little more.
What type of advice do you have? So I asked you about what are some of the drawbacks or mistakes they make. What are some of the tips and strategies that you have that perhaps if our agents know these topics, right, they can share with the seller, hey, our professional photographer does this and they do this and they do this, and this is how I'm going to help you differentiate yourself from, somebody who's not prepared to make that type of investment. Give us a couple of those items.
So I think like I actually tips to tell.
I should have given you the
Tips?
questions beforehand.
Yeah, tips to tell the potential seller.
Well,
This is
I
what we're
think
talking
the same question could be answered by saying, what are the tips you give your photographers? Because that's essentially the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, make sure
So-
you do this, or
Right. So they are always required to have 3 walls in their photograph.
okay,
They're always required to take one looking in, and then they also go into the room and come out. So a smaller bathroom has is a hard angle to take. A smaller bedroom, if you just take it from the door, you oftentimes don't catch the closet. So
yeah.
we invite them and have them go into the room and take it the other way too, so that you
Mhm.
get from the door and from coming out. Our angles don't make the room look any bigger than it should be. So we are not, just because we have virtual things, we're not lying about what we have. Just because we're doing HDR, the color and everything is exactly what it is. So decluttering is really important because we're going to catch everything. The
Right, I mean,
lens
HDR
catches and sees everything. But I think that the way we teach them to shoot in the angles for the room is why you're doing this. It's why it is important to not have a ton of furniture in the room so you can actually see the room. But set it up nicely so that people get the idea of what they're wanting to do.
So do you?
And I just want to add, I just wanted to add on to that when you get these photographs, it's really, you can maximize them by telling a story with the order that you put them in when you put them into FMLS. So pay attention to that, because that's a pro tip.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Yeah, I used to be really into that. Do you give us, like, let's say 50 pictures and then we get a chance to identify the 25 we want? How does that process work?
So we only will give you the 25 photos.
Okay, but if we want something
Oh, and you
special,
can go over. It's $5 per picture over 25.
are we able to see the others? Like, so
We
we
don't
can,
take any more than what we take. So we
Okay.
go in and we take 25 photos.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What have I not
Or we take
asked
30
you that
photos, whatever you've ordered.
what did I not ask you that I should have asked you?
Did I tell you about the less than 24-hour turnaround? You get them back the very
You
next
did,
morning.
which, by the way, is I don't know how unique it is, but from a husband of a photographer, that sounds very unique to me.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
great.
lot of
And
work.
you don't have to edit.
Right.
We'll edit for you.
Michelle,
Right.
what about accessibility for the photographers? Do they have a way to get in the home, or do they need to have a key left for them, or how does that
So
work?
a key would be great, or be present, whichever is easier. We can go into homes by ourselves, no problem. But a key, we do need key access to the home. Oh, on a day like today, as I sit outside, it's a bit gray, right? So maybe you're worried that should we come? Well, we can definitely come. We do blue sky replacement on all of our homes. So actually on a day like this, you might get the best pictures you've ever seen in your life, because we're not fighting with the sun.
Yeah.
So we will make it look like we were out on a beautiful blue sky day. So we will definitely come. We do have a 3-hour cancellation, so 3 hours or more prior. We do understand rain happens in Georgia and happens quickly. Oftentimes we might arrive and it's raining and we'll go inside and photograph and then come back out. If it's still raining, we'll come back the next day to photograph the outside. But we'll still keep the wheels moving and stay in touch with our customer service department. for
No
sure.
extra charge for that, right?
What?
No extra charge for that, right?
Oh, to come back if it's raining outside or yeah, no. That's just us finishing the shot and understanding it's pouring.
Yeah, this is totally just popped into my head. It has nothing to do with photography. Did y'all hear how I asked that question? Right, no extra charge for that, right?
An LP.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, is there an extra charge for that? You see what I'm saying? So let's assume there was an extra charge and I asked the question, so there's not an extra charge for that, is there? Then the listener says, should I give them a discount? Like, should I change my, policy on this? Right? It just opens the door for you to get more of what you want. Sorry, I'm not trying to play tricks on you or anything. I just can't help
It's okay.
myself.
The other thing is it's online ordering. So what that means is you'll create an account at imoto.com and you'll place your order through there. So all of it can happen in the middle. You can wake up in the middle of the night. Oh my gosh, I forgot to place my order for photography. You don't have to make a phone call during business hours necessarily, but we do have a customer service department that is ours. That's not offshore. That's nothing like that. They are the 3 individuals that work for us. And they are there to help during the day for tech help and photography help and anything you may need. Maybe we might have to go back in and edit out a little something that you didn't like in one of your photographs. We're there to help do that. It's nice to have the access online because you can click on a calendar, you can click on the date, you can click on the time. You're going to find some photographers you love. You'll book your photographer you love and you get an instant email confirmation and it's done. So
Beautiful. All right, let's open up the floor for some questions, and then we'll obviously let you explain anything else we haven't gotten to at the end, Michelle. Greta, what's on your mind?
So I have a question around the number of photographs. If I have a larger home, how do I know what you're going to take? I mean, like, if I'm paying for extra photographs, do I get to choose? Do we get a discussion around, what those are going to look like versus, because obviously I can't go unless I'm there, and I'll need to order ahead. I mean, I'm kind of wondering how that works.
I hear what you're saying. Like, if it's a 6,000 square foot home, you might need 53 pictures. Like, how are you going to know that 53 is the number rather than 47 or something, right?
Right. And do I have a choice of, I know I want to highlight the outdoor living space versus I don't really need a picture of 2 pictures of every bedroom, whatever.
correct. Yeah. So you're going to know your house the best. And when you do have those homes that aren't like straightforward, 25 photos, we're in, we're out, and it's the 6,000 square foot, it's the specialty home, it's the $1 million plus home, those homes. When you're placing your order, there is a notes section that you can type all the details you want. And let me just tell you, the more information you give us, the more successful we are, the better we can turn around opportunities to you. So if you're on the fence, say, you're like, okay, it's a big house, I want 40 photos, but you think, oh, but there may be a 43 or something like that. I would invite you to include in your notes, I am okay with a few extra photos.
Okay.
And that way it gives the photographer the okay and the right and the approval to take everything he or she sees that should be in your listing. They shoot photos all day long, all week long. So they see houses all week long. Now, sometimes they have to make decisions. Oh, they're only paying for 25. I'm going to leave out the powder room. Right. But if we order 40, they're going to take the powder room. And you give them the right to take 1 or 2 extra, then they will do that. Now, you're going to be asked to put your credit card in to reserve the spot. But your credit card's not charged until the photos are returned to you the next day. So say you ordered the 40 photos, but photos came back at 42 or 43, then we'll charge you for the 43 when the photos are returned the next day.
Okay. So, and on the 25 photos.
Yeah, you will always start with a base of 135.
Right. But my question, I don't care about the money. I care about what I'm getting. So on a 25 photo shoot, what kind of average house would that be? And like, is it we take 4 kitchen, we take 3, but how's that broken down, or is it just at the discretion of the photographer?
It's not perfectly broken down because every house is so different.
Right.
So they know they need to get all the bedrooms, the kitchen. They know they need to get the bathrooms, so they're going to walk through the house counting, and they have a counter on their camera as well. So they're going to know they have to get all the highlights, and then they're going to fill in,
Okay.
on the
So
on
it's
the
really
rest.
what they see unless we're there, because I might be there and be like, we really want this. Or I
Perfect.
put it in the notes.
You're
And
more
Brett,
than welcome to be there and direct it. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
fine.
And I would say if you have $1 million listing, you do want to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So,
I would
so you
also-
could.
And if you have $1 million listing, usually those are bigger homes, and you're probably ordering, say, 35 or 40.
Right. And like Michelle said earlier, like if it's a dining room, family room, or dining room, living room combo, you might be able to get both of those spaces in one shot. Right. So there's so many different factors that it's hard.
Right. Because if there's a wall on the way, then that becomes 2 photos. But if there's not, then it becomes 1 from 2 different angles, so that and then they move on to the kitchen.
Right. Who else
Hey,
has
Bill,
some
can I
questions?
share?
Yeah, please.
I use Imoto for all my photos with my listings. I used them 4 times, and it's been a great experience.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I
Well, now you can use this on your 5th listing, and you only pay $135.
exactly.
Yes, I was excited for the discount.
That's
Exactly.
great.
Who else? Any other questions? We have a great resource here for you. Any other questions, thoughts?
Hey, Michelle,
Hi.
I have a question for you. Do you all do any videography or any
Yes.
like 360 virtual tour kind of
Yes.
things, like a Matterport kind of thing?
Yes. So we have one Matterport camera, and we have a lot of photographers that do video walkthroughs, and we have a 360 video walkthrough. The 360 is a little bit complicated here in Atlanta. We'll return it to you in Vimeo form. We're returning all the videos in Vimeo now in Atlanta because FMLS was not liking YouTube links. But honestly, YouTube sees the 360 the best, but I think technology will catch up eventually. But the video walkthroughs and then the 3D Matterport works just fine.
So
That's the original. Those are the originals, and all the kinks are worked out on those, and those work great. The video walkthrough and the 360 are a $99 add-on value if we're there to photograph.
Okay.
And then the 3D Matterport is by square foot, so that's online. You can look online on our price sheet.
Yeah, if you don't
for
guys
the,
know what,
Matterport.
if you don't know what Matterport is, it's almost like a 3D, or would you even call that 4D, like illustration of the home, so you can see like what rooms are on top of what rooms and how they all kind of move from one space to the other. It's really cool.
So the 3D Matterport, you have 3 different views of the one house that we do. So you can do a walkthrough by clicking on the dots and walk through the house, and it changes your view. You can do the dollhouse view, like Bill was just mentioning, where you click on the dollhouse and then you can see kind of 4D almost of the house. And then it comes with a floor plan as well.
And that's only $99 extra?
No. The 3D Matterport is by square foot, and that's online, the pricing.
Got it.
The $99 add-on is for 360 video walkthrough, and our social media video.
Just so you guys heard the way I said that, I said it with an upswing, meaning $99 would have been very surprising to me if that was accurate. So again, I don't want to give you the impression that it's certainly more than $99 and it deserves to be.
Right on.
Who else? Anyone else? Okay.
And all these samples are on our website as well.
And that's Imoto.
I think some of you are in front of your computer. So if you go to imoto.com, imoto.com, you'll be able to see samples of all of those videos we just talked about, of our virtual staging. We have all the samples online.
I
Awesome.
just want to say, yeah, I posted it in the chat, and I just want to say, as realtors, building your team of professionals, to have people who are excellent at what they do on your team and have them so readily available is just amazing. I mean, it's amazing. So really appreciate you, Michelle, and your brother.
Thank you.
Candace, anything else you'd like to share or ask?
No, I think I'm good. I've used Imoto photos for years and years and years. And well, I don't know, how long have you been in business? Probably not as long as I have, but I know that you all have done photographs for me over time. And I've
We're going to
always
hit
been
our
happy.
10-year anniversary next year.
Yeah, there you go. So
Yeah.
for a while,
Good
yeah.
for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, happy
All right.
anniversary.
Well, this
Yeah.
has been recorded, so we'll put it on the private PC page. I just want to publicly thank Candace again for her efforts in putting this together. Michelle,
Oh,
thanks for
Michelle.
being with us this morning.
Oh, thanks, guys. Please
And,
Tell
email
Michelle for
me
making it
or-
happen.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Michelle.
We
Yeah.
Thank
very
you,
much
Happy to work
appreciate
with
the partnership.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much. Thanks for making it happen.
Okay, one last thing before we part for today. Just want to remind everyone, obviously, about our team meeting today from 11 to they say 12:15, but I don't think it's ever ended on 12:15. So 11 o'clock, probably 12:30 or so, and Robin will be running it today. And then Bold First Step will be tomorrow, so 9 to 11:30. In coming at the Lanier Technical College. My plan for the morning huddle is probably to get there a good bit earlier and then just probably sneak off into some room and host the huddle and then have a hard stop at 9 where we can all walk in. Okay. All right. Anything else on anyone's mind? All right.
Wait,
As
no, I
always,
have a quick question.
yeah,
I saw on the email from Tammy with Bold that there were some materials to print out, and I don't know if I accidentally deleted it. I don't know if you saw an email come through, but was there anything?
I will need to double check that.
Okay.
I have not thoroughly reviewed that yet.
Okay.
I can
might-
promise you though, if there was materials to print out, there's going to be some extra copies there though. So don't panic. But
Okay.
I'll double check and give you guys some hints so you can prepare properly. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyone else? All right. You'll make it a great day. Have
Thanks,
fun.
guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody.